This is file 24-21832-FH, People versus Christina Marie Sanford. We are here today for sentencing in this case, and we're proceeding today by video conference. First, can I have Mr. Glazier place your appearance on the record?
John Glazier, appearing on behalf of Christina Sanford, Your Honor.
And Miss, you are Christina Sanford?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sanford, have you had an opportunity to read and review your pre-sentence report?
I never got one, but I think Mr. Glazier and I have spoken at my other court hearing.
Yeah, she had a sentencing on the 2nd, Your Honor, just a few days ago.
But it was Your Honor Morgan.
Okay. So if you want to have a chance to see a copy of that, we can send it over to the jail and have them bring it to you. Or I can just proceed without you having a chance to see it if you want to waive your right to see it.
What do you think I should do, Mr. Glazier? I'm not...
We should just proceed with sentencing.
Okay.
The recommendations are the same as they were yesterday on this one.
Okay, so about probation?
Well, they recommend the same thing they did downstairs, a year in jail, but we're going to talk with the judge about that in just a few seconds.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Sanford, you have said that you have had an opportunity to discuss the report with Mr. Glazier. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Glazier and the advice that he's giving?
Yes.
Mr. Glazier, does Ms. Sanford wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of anything that's in the pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor.
Does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exist any known constitutional defects?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, this is sentencing in a misdemeanor case, and so there are no sentencing guidelines. So, Mr. Glazier, if there's anything you want to say on behalf of Ms. Sanford, you can do that now.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm reviewing the recommendations, and I guess I don't know if I think in this one they changed their recommendation as they did in district court from probation to a year in jail. I think they did that on this one as well. But I would indicate to the court that down in district court there was the same recommendation, and the judge down there, Todd, Mr. Judge Morgan, on the use, he gave her 12 months in jail. On a domestic violence, he gave her 93 days in jail. And on an assault and battery, he gave her 93 days in jail, but he suspended all that jail time. He put her on 18 months probation, fines and costs. She's got to enter and complete any program that the probation recommends. She can't consume any alcohol. She will have random testing and search and seizure for drugs or alcohol, and no contact with victims in the case. There were contempts of courts because she didn't show up for her sentencing down there as well. She didn't show up here. He dismissed those contempts. We're asking the court if it will consider doing the same for her here. She had, if I look at her criminal history, right, she has a domestic violence back, gosh, I think it was 2015, and doesn't have any other criminal history. That unless she has some out of state, the only access I have to is in-state convictions, but I don't think she has any criminal history other than that. She does have a drug problem. We or somebody, I think it was our office, got her into a program. And Christine, you were in a program and walked away. Is that right?
I left 3 days early. A bad mistake.
Okay. I just want to. So, yeah, she was in a program, Judge, and walked away early and then didn't appear at her sentencing. She has a drug problem. I mean, she really, really needs to get some treatment. And Judge Morgan ordered to enter a program. We'd ask if the court would consider doing the same, maybe giving her the year in jail, but suspending it, and then giving her the same terms of probation. I don't know whether she needs to get into inpatient program or a outpatient program or whatever, but if the circuit court probation officer wants to talk with Emily White in our office, I'm sure they can get her into some kind of program. I know the programs usually people that have relapses, they're pretty, they're pretty open to taking them back. They understand that this is an ongoing problem, that a drug addict will relapse from time to time. So we're asking the court to file that, give her probation, and let's get her into a program, hopefully get her off drugs. And I think that'll improve her life immensely if she'll do it.
All right, Ms. Sanford, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence?
That I'm sorry I didn't show up for court. I was homeless at the time and I did have a drug problem. I since then have been clean. Before I came to jail, I was clean, and I have been clean since I left the program. So I've been clean since May. I just had a lot of issues. I now have a support system on the outside world, and I also have a lady that is going to give me work. She's been clean since 1991. Her name is Jen. She runs the AA meetings in here, and I also have support from the church, Bethany Assembly, of the clergy that they come in here, and their names are Rita and Dan, and they vote for Bethany Assembly. So I also have Catherine Cobb lined up to stay there. I'm going to go to the probation downstairs as soon as, hopefully I'm released today, and I can get into an outpatient program, but I really need to get back to work, do the outpatient program, continue my AA. I've been doing AA in here, and I went to my mental health counselor in here. I'm back on my anxiety medicine and my depression medicine. I've been doing good. I don't feel like I need inpatient anymore. I feel like I need the strict outpatient, and I feel like I am doing great with that. And I do have a good support system now. At the time, I did not have a support system, Your Honor, but I do have a support system now. And I would ask that can we try to do the outside so I can get back to work and do the support system I have on the outside. And then if I feel like I'm going to relapse or get edgy, and my support system doesn't work for me, then I will turn myself in to take myself to rehab. But I don't feel like I need that right at this moment. I've been clean, like I said, since May. I just was homeless and going through a lot of things. And that's not an excuse why I didn't show up, but that had a lot to do with it. But now I do have a support, and I do have places to stay and people that are there and willing to help me. And I feel a lot better in my recovery. I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic and addict. I'm recovering. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sanford. In determining the appropriate sentence in your case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what's been said on the record here today. The criterion reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, vindication for law, and the protection of society. I have heard what Mr. Glazier and Ms. Sanford had to say with respect to Ms. Sanford's substance abuse issue and her current status in treatment. And I think as a result of that, I am willing to follow what Judge Morgan has done and give Ms. Sanford an opportunity at probation. Because I think that is, if she's willing to put in the work and do what needs to be done, that is a better long-term solution to the problem than a jail sentence would be at this point. And the court does have the ability to impose the jail sentence if you're not willing to put in that work. So it is going to be sent to the court that you serve a period of probation for 18 months. Your probation is subject to the conditions that you submit to alcohol, substance abuse, psychological or psychiatric evaluation as required by the probation department, and attend any treatment or counseling that's required by the probation department, that you attend 12-step meetings and obtain a sponsor or home group as required by probation, that you not consume any alcoholic beverages of any nature, including medications, that you not use any illegal controlled substances, that you submit to a regular and random blood alcohol or controlled substance testing as directed by the probation officer, that you make your person, vehicle, residence, and all other personality available for search and seizure for the presence of controlled substances or drug paraphernalia or alcoholic beverages, that you seek, obtain, and maintain gainful employment while you're on probation, that you sign any releases required by the probation department, that you not engage in any assaultive behavior, and that you not live in any residence where there is alcohol or controlled substances on the premises.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is there a contempt of court pending? There was one down in district court. I don't know if one got issued.
She pled guilty on the contempt in this file and was sentenced to 60 days, and that happened on October 23rd.
Now, Your Honor, is there any way that I could get time served for that and then get out today so I can start my probation and all my other classes? Because you told me that you would end the time on today if I was sentenced to something else. Because Judge Morgan said as soon as I was going to be released on yours, I could go right to probation and get all my stuff started. And I'd really like to do that. I feel like I'm just sitting dead time now. I mean, as far as I want to get into my counseling, I want to get into my anger management classes. I'm just trying to get ahead with this and get this all behind me. This has been going on 2 years, and that's my fault. And I'm owning to mine, and I want to take responsibility. But I've been here 44 days, so I was just wondering if I could get the rest of the time served and get to probation today and get on with my life and get these things started.
All right. So let me first say that there is a court cost of $750, a state cost of $50, and a crime victims fee of $75. With respect to the sentence on the contempt of court, I'm not going to change that at this point. It was entered on October 23rd for 60 days. If you have a good time, we're talking about a matter of days, I think, before you would be released anyway. And so I'm not going to make any change to that at this point.
How would I find out when I would be released? Take to jail?
You can ask. They'll give you your out date.
Yeah, the jail calculates the good time, so they'll know. They can tell you what your release date is.
Okay.
You should
All
be
right.
pretty
So,
close.
anything else we need to address today, Mr. Glazer?
No, Your Honor.
Well, I'm sorry, I neglected. There is a probation supervision fee of $30 per month. All right, so Ms. Sanford, you can let the officer that's with you know that you're done with court for today.
Okay, now do I report upstairs or downstairs for my probation?
I think you have to both.
No, it's your probation is all managed out of the district court office with Mr. McCarron.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You're all set then.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have with you this morning.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Glazer.
All right. We'll see you
Ms.
later.
Underwood, you need to speak to Mr. Clark.